This is the Samsung U310, a new phone for Verizon Wireless that's aimed clearly at the older generation. It's very simple to use, has few and clearly laid out controls, even has nice features such as different colored covers for the headset and power slot, which makes it easier for somebody who might be helping a parent remotely tell them where things get plugged in, or just in general make it easier to remember. Headset goes into the blue one, power goes into the red one, things like that. Also a dedicated voice dial, voicemail button rather, and a dedicated voice dialing button down here at the bottom. On the left hand side we just have simple volume control. External display, no camera, speaker grill there, nothing fancy. Inside the U310 we find a nice keypad. The buttons all have large numbers on them, easy to read. Bunch of dedicated buttons around the D-pad here, call, send, and end as normal. Clear is clearly labeled. Dedicated speakerphone button, an in case of emergency button, and a 911 button, and of course the two soft keys. Another thing that makes the U310 great for older people is the fact that it comes with a convenient charging station. It's nice that the charging port's clearly labeled in red like this, but it's a heck of a lot easier to just drop the phone into a charger like that. As you might expect for a phone targeting the older generation, the main menu is very simply laid out. Not much to it at all. This is on the extra large size font. There's a slightly smaller font which makes you can pack a little bit more information onto the screen, but in general I really like the way this works. Voice command for not only for voice dialing and everything, but also menu readout, which is kind of useful.
Voice commands: 1. Menu readout. 2. Digit readout.
And it just does that as you move through the menus.
4. Vibrate mode. 5. Voice command.
It's pretty nice. Also does voice for the numbers. That can be disabled though if that bothers you, but it does make it easier for people to dial and know what they're dialing, especially people that can't see the display all that well, although this is pretty high contrast and pretty easy to see. As you would expect, the contacts are pretty straightforward. You can search just by typing in a letter, hit J and John Doe comes up. Contacts that are marked in red are the ones that are designated as in case of emergency contacts. Easiest way to dial somebody is just to use the voice dialing system though. Hold down this button for a second.
Say your name or shortcut.
Matlock.
Matlock. Home. Connecting.
The dedicated ICE button down here for in case of emergency brings up a list of multiple contacts. You can select up to 3 contacts to be labeled as ICE contacts. It also keeps a couple of health notes on here that you can put whatever information you like. Presumably you would put something a little more useful than this, but this could be a good place to put information about diabetes or other thing like that that somebody might find a parent disabled or something would need to know. In spite of its very simple appearance and user interface, it does have normal phone functions such as a calendar, alarm clock, calculator, things like that. Overall, I'm quite impressed with how simple it is to use and how thoughtful touches that Samsung put into it. The user interface is a bit sluggish at times, but I think for the target demographic that's not going to be too much of an issue. Might be improved in the future firmware revisions or whatever, but overall I think it's a really solid device for an older consumer or somebody who just needs something very, very simple to use. So there you have it. That's Samsung's U310 for Verizon Wireless.